listen, y'all, I'll be straightforward. It was 16 racks for one reel and syndicated to YouTube Shorts. And I was like, YouTube Shorts? Okay, go ahead. 16 racks, but they're talking about sports betting, something I don't believe in nor do.
Yeah.
That was the definition of, like, selling my soul. Not selling my soul, but, like, giving up me.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Niche Talk. I'm Jerome, one of your hosts, a.k.a. 215 Shooter. And to my right, we have Lewis.
AKA I'm Ill Vibe across all social media platforms. We have a special guest today, and I actually wrote out an intro for this.
Let's hear this.
So, today's guest is someone who's not just making noise online. He's an impact. You've seen his bold takes, his fearless faith, and his unapologetic presence on Instagram, where he challenges perspectives and inspires thousands. Praise Asalu is a voice of his generation, creative, raw, and purpose-driven. Whether it's through his reels, his words, or his walk, he's here to spark change and stir hearts. We're honored to have him on the podcast, and he's a brother, an inspiration, and the reason why we stay young. Praise, welcome to the show, bro.
Yo, thank you. That hit, yo.
You had me at Stay Young. I'm just like, oh, I can take that.
We're happy to have you on the pod, bro. It's been a long time coming, you know?
Dang.
So yeah, just
That means a lot,
had to come
yo.
from the heart, bro.
I appreciate
you know?
you, man.
Love you,
Appreciate y'all for
love you,
real.
long
Love
time.
y'all.
That was
fan.
dirty. That was
Thank
dirty.
you, thank you, thank you. So that was the intro for Praise.
Hey, how you doing?
So on this podcast, what we typically do is we start off with either what's on feet, latest pickup, or outfit breakdown. So feel free to chime in on whichever one you want to do.
Okay. Well, I'll just do both. These are my latest pickups and what's on my feet. So these
Okay.
are the Solomon XT6s, I think.
You've been a Solomon guy recently.
Bro, I went to Japan. That's when I first got a pair. I thought it was cool because they had like a Japan collab that was only in Japan. I was like, all right, bet. I got those. It was like some XT wings or something like that. And then they have another pair that's like a hiking version that I
like
bought out there.
like the high top boot.
Yeah, the high top
yeah.
joint. That was nice. Those are like the best everyday shoes.
A hiking shoe is an everyday shoe.
Bro, them joints are fly, bro.
Okay.
In terms of comfort, obviously.
No,
they're just
look, we're
black
all
shoes.
about comfort.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And those are two pairs, and then I got these, and then I got the black and silver colorway of these as well.
Yeah, I see you in the all black pair all the time because you tried to like navigate through the sneaker realm. I remember.
I did.
And then you were just like, yeah, this ain't it.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I probably have better collections than a lot of people watching this.
Especially your age.
Nah, that was a good
He
shot.
said,
I ain't gonna
pew,
lie.
pew.
Nah, I'm playing.
Yeah, I love
Pops.
Solomon's because it's very close to salmon. And,
All right.
yeah.
I actually don't like salmon.
Whoa. Oh, we are no longer friends.
We have a
We are
nemesis
no
of the
longer.
pod.
Oh, man, that's
No,
crazy.
because like keep it a stack, bro. You can't put steak. I mean, you can't put salmon over steak. You can't put salmon over chicken. You can't put salmon over goat. You can't put salmon over oxtail.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You can't put salmon over ground beef, bro.
Where have you had your salmon prepared?
Well, I'm not saying I haven't had good salmon because
all right.
Nay's mama done made good. Oh, y'all don't know. My girlfriend's on the shout out on her, but her mama done made some great salmon. But I'd rather
I feel that. I feel
everything
that.
else.
But I don't. But I
in
feel
the
it.
in the many years I've known Jerome, and I've known him for many years, he's talked this talk about the
old,
salmon
yo.
that he makes, and I have yet to
Oh, wow.
experience what that
See,
even is.
I never talked about the salmon that I make. I talk about the salmon that I consume.
Okay, so your salmon sucks.
So for me, I'm gonna go top down, like Riddle, as I always say. So on the Mata, I have my own hat design. It's a Prince of Persia Phillies with the
hard.
old school P. I got this guy's t-shirt on. You
This
know,
guy.
focus on the art, not the algorithm.
That
Even though
part.
we want you to focus on the algorithm when this episode comes. Just some regular Nike track pants, jogger, whatever they are, and then something you don't see too much. Got some Air Max 2 goldenrods on foot.
Beautiful shoe. You know I'm a sucker for that yellow, and it matches with the shirt perfectly.
Golden. You know, I had to put,
Yeah. I'm gonna do two as well today. I'll break down the fit. Your hat. Not gonna state with who because not that deep. But it's your hat. We got the Godspeed tee, Mint Crew jorts, And we got the black cement 3s on feet. Finally decided to break these out.
Was that one of like 7 pairs?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one of 7 pairs, sure. I have 4 pairs. It's the best shoe that's ever come out in existence.
Pretty
I'm
like,
sorry.
why?
No, they're not all this year. I have 2 from
okay.
this year.
And-
And then I got the countdown pack, which was what, like 20... No, that thing that was like 06 or 2010, one of those 2. And then I have the 2018 pair that I cooked. They're both cooked.
Bro had shoes when I was like 5. That's dope. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie.
So yeah, decided to finally break those out. So this is like an undead stock day.
Nice.
Curved ear fitted, broke out the BC3s. And then latest pickup is a little thing for Ellie.
Oh, that's
Hey.
fine.
Because
little Kip shirt.
she's gonna be from the borough of New York and Philadelphia.
Yo, I think you should go to New York just to have the baby.
Yo, that's
I ain't gonna lie.
Whoa, all right,
Regular.
cool. On to the next.
Like, we talk about retail. We talk
man
about what you paid for it.
started doing the calculations from Hangover.
So we got the introductions out the way, broke down the fits. So now we kind of want to just talk to our guests, Praise, and get a little more insight on who you are and what you do. Talk to him, bro.
Oh, that's me. Now.
Yeah, it's definitely you now, bro.
Who am I? I'm Praise. You know, like praise the Lord.
Are you comfortable to say your middle name?
I can say everything.
Okay, say it.
I'm gonna say my full name.
Yeah, say your full
All
full
right.
name. Yeah.
Praise Oluwaseye Adekunle Asalu. That's my full name.
Love it.
Full name. Them Americans try to change my name, bro.
I'm sorry.
I was saying for the longest, bro.
I had to put some-
I remember when you was doing your first T-shirt, you was trying
Yeah.
to correct the
I said, you gotta put some black on it.
pronunciation. Put some black on it.
I am I guess Nigerian American, a first generation Nigerian kid, born of 2 pastors. Shout out my parents, Beatrice and Billy, my homies. You feel me? Grew up in Jersey, South Jersey. I was born in Newark. Came to Willingboro. Lived there all my life. Shoot.
All right, talk to us about your journey as a
Okay.
not content creator, but where it all started.
Okay,
Your
bet,
creative
bet.
passion,
Yeah,
where all
yeah.
that started.
'Cause you
We'll
gave
give
me
you
too
we'll give
broad
you
of a
some
question,
we'll
you
give you
feel
some
me?
roadmaps, some pings along the way.
All right, bet. So, since a kid, dude's been watching people's like YouTube videos, especially Marquez Brownlee. That was my favorite guy. I saw that, and I saw all the Minecraft YouTubers and gaming YouTubers. I wanted to do that, so took my mama's old laptop, making Minecraft videos on there, using Movie Maker and stuff, and that was cool. Then from there, my brothers got on me. They was like, bro, why you watching people play games and stuff like that? Why you making games? So I stopped with that for real. Then as we move forward, I still kind of got back into it with just building computers and stuff. Like I started to take apart this desktop my parent bought me, and then I built a new computer with all the parts. And then with that, I got into PC gaming and more creating videos, making YouTube videos and stuff like that. That died off when school started to kick up. I was in high school, and when it was time to go to college, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do computer science because I was building computers. This is what I like to do. Computer science is nothing like building computers. So when I got into that, it was COVID. I finally in college and stuff like that. I'm second semester into school, and COVID hits. I go into modeling. Modeling happened, like it was a model casting inside my school and stuff like that. So that was fun. And then when COVID happens, I'm just a kid in his room, like, all right, what we about to do? Let's make videos on TikTok. Because I learned from one of the model girls that you can do that. So I started like randomly buying shoes. Like it was like retail therapy. I was really, because I had COVID.
I mean, everyone during COVID.
You feel me? I was getting like, listen, bro, they gave me unemployment. And I was in my room for 2 weeks. I just started buying stuff on Boohoo and buying stuff on Goat, going crazy. And from there, that was when I guess my content journey started. I made my first TikTok page. I was just doing fits by the shoe. I would pick a shoe. I had all my shoes laid out. I'd pick a shoe, make an outfit, and then it was getting some traction. I was like, 10, 20, 30K. Then it just died. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. And then I think I started back up. And I think that's when I first met you.
Yeah.
You being Lewis. He DM'd me on Instagram. It's funny because when I was modeling, I was just posting like any shoots I could. I would always hit my friend up, like, yo, let's shoot this, let's shoot that. Pictures weren't the best, because it was just, but he found me off of that, which is cool. You feel me?
That I did.
Get a text from this guy saying like, yo, would you like to shoot for DTLR? We pay, I think it was like 50 an hour.
I was 25 at the time.
No, you said 50.
Did I?
You
I
sure
said
did,
50?
because when
Okay.
I read 50, I was like, what?
Oh, wait, that's when we were in the Haddonfield office. And that's when okay, all right, you're right.
Once I got into that, I told my bro, I was like, yo, I can make $50 an hour off of taking pictures. Met him for the first time and instantly clicked. Like, we was, like, cool.
Yeah.
And it just kept, they kept bringing me back. And from there, you started showing me that people can make videos on Instagram of, like, shoes and unboxings. So I tried that out. From there, unboxings went to me making skits of those. And the skits then turned into outfits. And then things just started going. Like, I was doing trends on TikTok, and those started blowing up. I did this one trend on Instagram that blew up. It was literally just me and my modeling pictures. It wasn't, like, anything crazy. Joan hit, like, 700-something K. Started following. This is back when Instagram made sense. Like, when you went viral, people actually followed your page. But when that happened, it was just keep the ball rolling. And me and you, we was always shooting. From there, I met you. I don't know if they know. Is he?
Will.
Yes, they know
Will.
he's Will. And through Lou, he also introduced me to a bunch of other creatives like Adrian, Steph,
Adam.
Yes, I was about to say.
Everybody, yeah.
Specifically, you put me on my boy Ron, or our boy Ron, which is crazy that he did that, because he did not have to introduce a 19-year-old kid to Ron. And Ron at the time, he's like a big dog, you feel me? Because he had like 50K on IG and stuff.
Oh, yeah, he was definitely up there, like, between all of us, because he's been doing it for so long.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, at least the, like, niche-specific, like, fashion content, like, he was, like, the fear of God idol, like, back in the day, where the skinny jeans with the like, the chunky boots, all that, like, he was that guy. And it was really dope that we were all able to, like, create a group chat and, like, interact. Like, we were that group of creatives that were just like, all right, yo, we about to link up. Let's all just knock out all the content that we all need to do.
And it worked.
And it worked. It worked.
Every time.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that, because I was literally, like, I was young, like, literally 19, 20 years old, and I'm hanging out with these guys are all 25, 26, 27, and plus. And I was trying to give you some grace. I wasn't going to say nothing. But yeah, I'm hanging out with these dudes, and it was lit. Like, I didn't feel like I didn't belong. I got to be myself. And yes, like, jokes of age, but it didn't feel like I was younger. It just felt like I was with the homies, and I got to work. I got to just create genuine relationships with y'all. Y'all took chances on me.
Yeah, since the first time I met you, it was really crazy to see, like, the old soul in you and, like, how mature you were for your age. Because, like, a lot of, I'm not going to say kids, but a lot of young adults your age really don't have what they should be having going for them, especially, like, with the vast amount of knowledge that there is out there for your generation. Like, there's a lot of people that are still just acting too young for their age, and you are on the opposite end of that spectrum. And I appreciated that wholeheartedly. Like, since the first time we met, you were, like, super professional, and you were just hungry and very opportunistic. You weren't wasting no time to, like, continue to level up, and we all got to see that. Like, I still remember the one Jordan 4 or Jordan 1 video that you did, like, in your room. It was such a simplistic video, and it did numbers, but I still remember like, the conversation you had about, like, this was just, like, nothing. Like, I did nothing and it did well, but then, like, you were at a point where, like, you were comparing and contrasting, like, the effort that you put into some videos isn't equating to, like, the videos that are less, like, logistical, you know? But let's double back real quick, because I know you said you went from computer science to, like, modeling. What created that switch? Like, was there a certain situation? What made you just, like, pick up modeling out of nowhere?
So I, like, just growing up, I always seen, like, the dudes in the mall, like, on like an H&M ad and stuff like that. I specifically remember it was a guy in an H&M ad, and I was like, dang, that'd be cool one day. Still haven't got there, but we've been in malls, so I think I said we've been in malls, so we thank God. That's tough. That's still fine.
Yeah.
But that was always an afterthought. Not an afterthought, but, like, it's something in my head. And I always would just take pictures of, like, the outfits I wear on Sunday with my brothers and stuff. So when I got the chance in school, where like these guys are having a whole modeling casting here, model casting at the school. I'm like, all right, I might as well do it. So when I did it and I went through the whole program, but at my school show and the big show, I was like, yo, this is hard. But I didn't think I could change my degree because my parents, like, if you grow up in an African household, let me tell y'all, in an African household, it's usually like the big three. It's a doctor, engineer, or lawyer. Like, that's what apparently is assumed of you to go into. And I learned now that that's mainly because they live off of, like, stability. They just want you to be stable because they're coming from a different country and they just want you to last in America. I didn't know that back then. So now I'm in this position where, like, okay, I have a 5 to 7 p.m. class on network security, and I don't want to do this. This is not what I want to end up doing for the rest of my life. So I'm like, okay, what is the next best thing? I switched to CIS, Computer Information Systems. I thought there was a change. There's no change. It's in reality, there's no difference at all. I talked to my father about it, and I was like, Pops, I want to switch to this. It's kind of like this, and blah, blah. He said, okay, I did that. And then even then, I was like, bro, this is the same exact thing. So I said, all right, what is the closest thing I can get for a degree that still works in the whole field of modeling and like social media and stuff? It was a communications degree. I was like, okay, but this is completely far left.
Yeah, completely.
This is far left. If I go to them saying this, they're probably gonna be like, no, and blah, blah, blah. So I was scared. So I went up to him and asked him, like, yo, can I please change to this? Because it deals more with what I want to do and all that. And that was, like, where I really, like, understood, like, where my parents were coming from. They told me, like, dude, we never told you that you had to do this or that. Like, we never said, as long as you get a degree, like, we are happy.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so when I heard that, I was like, oh, shoot, bet. Like, that's fire. And don't get me wrong, like, communications, I don't want to bash anyone that has that degree because I have one. But at the same time, it's a great degree. Like, I really learned how to speak to people. I learned people's body languages. I learned the ways that people receive things so I can really talk to people. You feel me? Even though I struggle with emotional, communication and stuff like that. But, like, it's still a great degree, and it still helped me out with what I do now. So
yeah, I still remember when you changed to communications, it was obvious to see that you were enjoying it a lot more. Mm-hmm. And one, that's a lot harder of a thing to do in college than most people understand. Like, you go into college thinking that it's going to be sweet or it's going to be simple because it's what you thought you wanted to do. Yeah. And then come to find out it's a lot harder and a lot more in-depth than you think. Mm-hmm. Me being one of those people, because I changed my major like 5 times in college. So I totally understand, like, finding something and sticking with it, like, just to finish and not be like a failure in your parents' eyes. Mm-hmm. Because there were many times that I wanted to quit, and many times that I was like, look, I don't really need this. Like, I'm just here for you, and that's it. But I stuck to my guns with graphic design, and while I don't have a graphic design job, I do utilize all of those skills that fall into graphic design with everything that I'm doing today, which you also do too, which is amazing. And on top of that, everything you've done creatively, you are self-taught or you learn from your peers around you, which is amazing.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Yeah, of course. So let's dive into your full steam on creative now, right? You're blowing up on TikTok, you're blowing up on Instagram, and you're getting these brand deals and you're getting all this noise, this traction. How was that for you to juggle this newfound career with not only your friendships, your relationships, family, but like with yourself and your faith? How was that to juggle all of that at, like, let's say like 20? 20, 21, around there?
Yeah. That's so tough because I guess it wasn't even like juggling. And this is all like hindsight view. But in that moment, I say my first brand deal was 2021, September. I got $12.50 to make 3 posts in a month. And I was like, what? That's insane. So that happens and now money's sliding through, just like you said, like everything's ramping up. Since I grew up in the church and stuff, like grew up, both my parents are pastors, like I know all this stuff. So I just kept that. I was like, I'm gonna do my devotions every day and that's what matters. But I wasn't really like locked in with God for real, for real. I knew who Jesus was, but that's it. I was just doing me. And along with that, I didn't necessarily like have an identity yet.
Right.
Like I knew what I could do and I knew what people liked, but that was like what was driving everything. It's like, oh shoot, like people really like this video. It got OD views. That's fire. Let's keep going. Let's keep making this stuff. But I didn't understand like how much I wasn't necessarily doing things for myself anymore. It was kind of, oh my goodness, something in my eye. It was something that, looking back at it now, like it kind of sucked. Cause I was living off of like other people's opinions, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't know that it was like based on like stuff that happened as a kid. Cause like as a kid, I'm the dark-skinned bull that's African, you feel me? You get called the regular names like African booty scratcher and stuff like that, or like midnight. So that gets to the point of I want people to like me. Like I don't want to be the guy with no friends. And now that thought process is kind of hidden behind, oh no, I'm just a kid trying to be friends and stuff like that. So now I'm going into this where I'm put on essentially a platform where I got to keep it going. Now people like me, bet. I'm going to make sure I keep that up. I'm going to buy whatever I need to so people know I got it because I got that fit on. I got that, you feel me? I'm like that.
Yeah.
And so my identity, my value came from what I owned. It came from the amount of followers I had. It came from the people talking about me or talking to me. It was like, that's what made me cool or whatever. And there was a time where everything switched. Like, not even switched. I just started understanding. I remember, because I was at like 70-ish K on IG, and videos they weren't doing the same. They weren't doing like 100K every video and stuff like that. And I was like, yo, do I suck, bro? Like, is this it? Is this the fall off? This is that 15 seconds of fame type joint? And when that happened, I just was kind of stuck in like a little spiral. And it didn't really stop because things would go back up. I get a brand deal, make some money. Cool. I go on a cool trip. Everything's fire until right back in the same spot. I feel trash again. Like, I would try to feel that with everything, bro. Because, all right, sorry, babe. At the time, I would try to fill that, like, I guess, fill that hole with shawties. Because I was that dude. I'm a young 20-something-year-old that looked good. I can have any shawty I want. I got money. I can take you out, do whatever. I can get what I want. I can literally live the life of any way that a kid would really want to live, you feel me? Nothing worked. Like, literally nothing. So I'm probably like 100-something K, think everything's sweet, and it just got to the point where it was like, nah, this is not sweet no more. Like, I kind of fell on my face. Just kept trying and trying and trying, but in reality, like, I didn't have the answer. And it literally wasn't until, like, I went to this young adult service and went to church, like, with real intentions for the first time in a minute, not knowing what was going to come out of it. I just thought I was going to go and just keep it pushing. And that day, it was like a little flip. Is it flip switch or switch flip? A switch flipped. Yes.
Flip of the switch.
I didn't
switch
flip the
flip.
switch.
You got it.
A switch flipped. A switch flipped, and just in the course of like a couple months, like everything started to change. Like I was like, oh, like, yeah, I have been just doing this for people. I have been only making fashion content or only buying stuff so people could see what I got. Like, but I didn't really get it. And now I understood, and like really walking in my faith, like walking with God truly started to open a lot of things up. It was like, no, bro, this is why you've been doing all this. Yes, you have this platform. Yes, it's super cool, but the foundation of it is horrible. Like, you built your following off of, oh, people like me, not, oh, I want to share, you know? Don't get me wrong, all that stuff is still cool. Like, there's nothing wrong with making fashion content. There's nothing wrong with having nice things at all. But when I realized that that's all I built myself on, something has to go.
Yeah.
So it was like an overhaul of my life. Essentially, like, life got turned to 180. And initially, outside looking in, it's like, yo, what the heck's wrong with this kid? Like,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, I had a shoe wall full of sneakers. I had, like, everything that I would ever need, but I'm switching it all. Like the content I was making completely had a shift and stuff. Well, actually last year it didn't have a full shift, but I did start to incorporate the Lord and what I was talking about and stuff. And there is like, people aren't gonna accept that all the time because not everyone is a believer of Christ. Not everyone's gonna like be on top of that and stuff like that. But it got to the point of like, all right, who am I doing this for? Am I doing it for them again, or am I doing it for him? So with that, I started doing it unapologetically, and things started to change for real. Because on YouTube, it's funny. I started YouTube October 2021. I had less than like 5 to 6K or 8K followers on there, probably like 2024 or whatever, 2023. As soon as I started like really being me on there and talking about my faith and just talking about my lifestyle, we doubled in less than a year. I was like, dang, bro.
Yeah, and that's the crazy shift with every social media platform has its like ins and outs, right? Where something on Instagram might not do well, but say you're more of a community-driven person, that'll probably do better on TikTok and YouTube because those are very much more community-driven.
TikTok sucks, by the way. I just want to say that. Sorry, continue. TikTok sucks. But continue.
No, I will say that, yeah, I can agree with that. But it is more community-driven than Instagram. Instagram is literally just a business. And I can see TikTok making that shift, but YouTube especially, very much community-driven.
I love YouTube, man.
And
y'all need to get on YouTube, bro. You need to get on YouTube.
that's a conversation we've had for millennia.
Like,
so,
please.
yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Like, just get on YouTube, bro. Because, yeah, you have, like, your Instagram, and, like, people let us see the fits. People let us see the hats. People let us see the shoes. But you're a whole nother person. Like, not even a whole nother person. You are a person. It's not just that. People see your life, see the homies, like see the little kids, you feel me? Like,
Listen to
people
the
would
youth.
love to see that. I'd love to see that.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been a slow burn. Like he knows.
Slow burn.
Like the whole thing is like I want to. He told me just go ahead, just hard launch.
Oh, also, I mean, not say that in a way where it pressures you because
No.
you
you're
have
good,
children
you're
and
good.
people. I know you gotta be protected of your family. You feel me?
Oh yeah,
And
but
stuff,
that's the thing. So it's not even that. It's more of a. I want to full send the entire family when I launch. And like obviously like wifey has her own things that she's like dealing with and like I'm not quite ready to stuff like that. So like
Got
when
you.
I didn't want to launch it and it be me and then like slowly introduce the family because with social media, people see the fits and stuff like that, but people that's been around from the beginning, they know I'm
Got
family
you.
man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that's me. But then he made a great point, like, all right, well you can still incorporate that later. But then like you said, I just kind of fell back into the point where I'm like, yo, I know he's correct. However, I want to do it my way. And unfortunately, that way is taking more time than it should.
Nah,
But,
and at
you
the end
know.
of the day, you are just one person.
it's very true.
Like, that's what I understand about the whole situation because I'm also trying to get on YouTube, but the consistency that I tried to create in my head is not like reality because of all of the things that we have to do. Like, to all the successful YouTubers that you see out there, they have a team. Like,
Dude.
and I'm not saying you're
No,
not
you're
successful.
right. You're right, bro.
But to do everything on your own, everyone that does YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all of them on their own, you will always notice when they fall off of another platform, when they're focusing on another platform. So like, then you have to create those justifications. Like, all right, am I going to solely focus on YouTube and potentially lose out on paid gigs on Instagram because that's where my higher presence is? So like, there's that battle that you always have to face trying to mitigate time and understand which one works better for you in the moment and what is going to be better for you in the long run.
That's exactly what happened. When
Yeah.
like last year I got to be more, I guess, engaging on YouTube, and that's where I saw the most reward. And I can't, and that's the problem. And we know like if you can't be a master of all trades, so like if you put your time and effort into one thing, you gonna get good at that thing no matter what.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's like, do I? And that's what I did. I was like, all right, button Instagram. I'm not even gonna touch that. I'm gonna focus on YouTube, and it's way more fulfilling, but it's not.
It's not monetarily fulfilling.
Exactly.
Until you get to a certain point where it can
can.
become monetized.
Right,
I
yeah.
get that. But that's a long game. It's a very long game because the
Slowest burn
numbers,
of all.
the numbers don't equate at all. And I've understand. I've got to witness that.
1,000 views.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly. I've got to witness that through you, through Ron, through David out in Cali, and like multiple people that have like put in that work. And I've noticed like there's a pattern. Like, all right, I'm gonna get to 100,000 on IG, and it's like when people get to that 100,000 mark, they already understand that the brand deals will come in with minimal effort, and then they can focus on another platform. And then that's when they'll start focusing on like YouTube and creating that long form. And then when they realize there's a gap in gigs, they'll turn right back over to IG, like pump out a bunch of short form content. And now a lot of people are like dual purposing their content because now it's a lot more forgiving to have horizontal content on Instagram.
Which is crazy. Like, I swear Instagram, like, picks and chooses.
Oh, I mean, we're all at the mercy of that app.
I hate
and
that app.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, we all do. Trust me, we all hate that app, and we wish that Facebook never bought it. Like that was when everything went.
That's when everything went
That's
down.
when everything went down.
That's a fact. Bro.
Yeah.
Life
But-
is so good, bro.
But everyone's getting back to
Reality.
appreciating Instagram for what it is at its core. It is literally just a social presence app, and just be yourself. Like
Yeah.
the fact that everyone has come to that realization where if you are just yourself, you will succeed not in terms of virality, but you'll succeed in terms of like what you get out of what you put out.
Yeah,
You're going to
that's a fact.
appreciate things a lot more.
It'll be more fulfilling.
Exactly. Like you're talking about on YouTube, right? But now people are incorporating that on short form content because some people just, they can't do a 30-minute video. They can't do a 45-minute video, you
Yeah.
know? But one thing I do want to double back on is like in terms of friendship and like how I asked you earlier about how was it to juggle everything at your young age, being around people that are damn near a decade older than you, right? I'm sure at one point you started to see a fall off, right, with your friendships. And how did you feel navigating through a space like that? And obviously, I'm sure, as most people are unaware to like when friendships fall off, right? Because like you're not in it. How did that make you feel when you came to that realization that like there was a fall off? And how is that something that you like bounced back to?
I think when I started getting serious about this, like, I also started to step back from certain lifestyles. So I was not trying to be smoking. I was not trying to be drinking all the time or go to parties all the time because I always knew what they would end up in. And I had more fun doing this instead. And it was either let's do this or y'all good. Like, I'm not about to slob at y'all. And I think when I came to that understanding, I just prioritized my time in better places. But on the other side of that, you could see that, like, those friendships did, like, just start to not die off. Like, we still homies and stuff like that, but dudes ain't hitting me because they know praise ain't gonna be free or praise not gonna want to slide, you feel me? And it's cool. And then I guess it's not cool because it's like we still boys since like kindergarten. We still man since then. And then when you out of school, it makes you realize like, oh, were we just boys because we was always seeing each other, or are we boys because we locked in for real, you feel me?
Yeah.
But I think everything happened for a reason, because I wouldn't be able to experience as much as I have if I was still stuck in my hometown. You feel me? And that sounds crazy. Like, I left. Like, I didn't leave. I just went across the water. But I think if those relationships didn't die off, I wouldn't have moved forward. You feel me?
Yeah,
So it's like,
totally understand that for sure.
I feel like sometimes it's also a testament to how deep or true a friendship is. Because I feel like people that truly understand each other realize at some point that I don't need to talk to you every day. I don't need to see you every day. I just need to make sure that you're good at some point in time.
Yeah.
And then when our paths are meant to cross, they will. Like, I remember we had the conversation at Lou crib. And, you know, and it's always a two-way street. Because I know you was kind of like, dang, like, when you just said that, I just realized, like, we haven't, like, really talked in a minute. But on the same note, it's like, we haven't, but we have. You feel me? It was like, I like to random text people like, yo, what's up with you? You good?
Yeah.
What? You respond back? Cool. I don't got to talk to you for another 3 weeks, month, 2 months. And and it's always a thing where as though it can never be just the person. There's also someone on the giving and receiving it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, as much as you may not talk to your homies, it's like, why? Like, was I the person not reaching out and, initiating conversation and making sure somebody good? Or was it them? Mm-hmm. Or if nobody has talked to each other in months, it's both of us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of times, like you said, you have things that you pivoted into, which now no longer align with those things. Mm-hmm. And you got to realize at some point, like, it's nothing to feel bad about. Not saying that you do, because that comes with everybody and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I had to make a lot of pivots because I'm like, well, I got a wife and kids now. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not doing certain things that my homies do. Like, I can't. I mean, I can, but rather not. Yeah. It's not fulfilling for me anymore. I got something else going on. And you have shifted to where, like you said, you have this lifestyle that you now understand and you're embracing. You don't want to be around drinking and this stuff that's a temptation to what it's the opposite of what you are aiming for.
Exactly.
And as a friend, I wouldn't want to even put you in that situation to even have you possibly have a chance of like going backwards, if you will. And I know we always had the conversations, and I know we had one like recently, and it's dope to me to see you be at your age transition from where you were into now, because I see you a lot more happier, smiling for the right reasons, and in your own, because that's where you want to be, not because somebody told you that's where you need to be, or it's what's trending right now. It's like, no, praise is right here because this is where praise belongs because he said so, and you are diving deeper into your faith where you're like, I'm here because God put me here. And I'm going to embrace this moment and utilize it for what it's worth versus, as you looked at it before, as like wasting and trying to please others and keep up with the trends, the motions, and that little thing in the back of your head where it's like, all right, well, I know when younger, this is what was happening, and I'm subconsciously doing something because it's there. Like, it may not be in the forefront, but it's there, and I'm doing it subconsciously. So I just want to say I'm super proud of you, bro. And I know I told you that before, but
I appreciate you.
Super proud of you for taking the chance and understanding what you want in life and being unapologetic about it, because it unfortunately does take a hit to certain things. Like you said, some people are like, I'm not with that. I don't really want to.
Yeah.
And, it's that way with a lot of other things too. But in that moment, that's what makes and breaks people. Mm-hmm. You see people not rocking with it like that. A lot of people would have been like, I want to keep getting these brand deals and this and that. So I'm going to go back over this way and keep it going.
Yeah.
It takes a very strong, dedicated person to say, this is happening, but guess what? I don't care because I know I'm doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, bro. Very much proud of you, bro.
Man, talk about your journey. Gonna make a guy cry. Like it's it's really beautiful to just like see.
Nah, cause this dude, he been there the whole time. Sorry,
it's really crazy to just see your growth, man, and just like witness like our bond go through the ups and downs that we did and like to where we are now. Like we lived together. Like it's kind of crazy that that's even a thing to talk about.
Bro, mind you, I moved in with this guy less than a year, I think, that I've known you.
Yeah, less than a year, I want to say.
Less than a year, because 2021, it was after COVID that we...
Yeah, it was definitely after COVID. Yeah, I want to say it was 2022.
2022, we moved in together, but it was after COVID that I first...
that we met, yeah. I think it was like around your birthday that we met in 2021, I want to say.
This guy's memory sucks.
Yes, it does.
It does not. It was definitely like May.
Okay, that's close enough to September.
What?
Close enough. Okay.
It's close enough to
Look, like I said, I'm very proud of your journey and how far you've come as an individual. And I just want to let you know that it may not be aware to you, but you inspire many, many people, bro. Like, yeah, that number on Instagram is like just a number, And it's good to have that mindset that it's nothing more than a number, but there is some weight to it in a positive light, right? Like those people followed you because they see something in you that they don't see in themselves. And you got to understand that, like, what you're putting out now is speaking volumes to not just your generation. I'm sure if you look at your analytics, you probably got a really decent like age range, and he's on the far right spectrum of that age range.
Why is he violating? Like, you're not 30 something.
But there's always room to there's always room. But yeah, understand that you're making waves to not just your generation and to continue to push boundaries.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. So with everything we've spoken about with your faith and your route through social media and how you navigate the space with your faith, we understand that you have created a brand for yourself. So we'd like for you to talk on that, talk to the viewers, let them know what's going on with that, and just a little bit more about that.
So boom, yeah. 2 years ago, what I do?
So boom, yeah.
Nice little intro.
2 years ago, I started a brand, and it's called Asalu. There was a time where like dudes was just making brands and stuff like that, and I was like, yo, it'd be cool to have a brand, and it's like I can but I can essentially express my faith through it. And at the time, I wasn't like as strong in my faith as I was now. So I didn't really even know how to go about that, and I was very new in this whole clothing brand space. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just buy some blanks, throw this logo that I got made by Nate's friend actually, and it came out cool. I was like, let's try it out. But I didn't really have a vision for it yet, you feel me? Then I would say last year really started to like gain a real meaning behind it. Cause I talked to my parents before, and like when I made the Asalu brand name, Asalu means the one that comes before the king, right? And to break that down, my name used to be King Asalu. Let me not talk to y'all know that. My name used to be King Asalu on Instagram, and that's just something I did when I was younger and stuff like that. And kind of like, I guess, self-righteous. I don't know. Some people could see it like that or whatever. But there was a time when I was really walking with the Lord, as I started to walk in my faith, I started to understand, like, it's not about me. It's not about essentially pushing me. It's about him. It's about the Lord. Like, it's what he's given me to tell y'all about him. So with that, I was like, all right, I'm changing my name. Went to Praise Asalu, and I really started to walk in what that name really means. I'm going before the king. I'm telling y'all what's up before Jesus slide back, you feel me? And with that, I made this clothes. I started to really write down the ideas that I was getting, and one of the ideas was I work to better the lives of others. I heard it, or I just thought of it one day, and I wrote it in my notes. And I was like, yo, this should be hard. And to be like authentic with it, I had an iPad. I wish I still had that iPad because Procreate is fire. But had an iPad. I was like, I want it to be like really authentic. So let's make it in my handwriting. Did it in my handwriting and made a sample, and it was super cool. It was lit, whatever. Then probably literally a year later, because I am procrastinating, and not procrastinating, more like fear of like, are people gonna buy this stuff, bro? I hear this verse called Mark 9:35, and it talks about Jesus bringing his homies together, the disciples, and saying like, yo, whoever wants to be first has to put themselves last and be a servant of others. And that literally embodies what this means. I work to better the lives of others. It means that we're putting ourselves last so we can better those around us. We are serving those around us, and that's exactly what Jesus did for me. He died on that cross so I can be alive and be free of sin and go to heaven. So I'm like, why can't I just share that in my everyday life? Like, why can't I be a blessing to those around me, whether it's monetarily, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever I can do for them, why not? And I would hope people agree with that as well. So I was like, let's put it on a shirt or T-shirt or
Hoodie.
Yeah, that. So now that's just the idea for this. But in general, the overall brand is to glorify God, but to also be like an encouragement to others. Like, I want people, because I know when I wear clothes that actually has a meaning, it's lit. Like with your shirt, you can wear that around confidently, so you want people to read what's on the back.
Right.
But it's not about you. It's about the message on the clothing.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
like the whole point of this, where it's like I don't want the attention on me, and that's like it goes into what I struggled with before. Like I wanted people to see me, I wanted recognition, I wanted people to like me. But now it's like, all right, it's not about me anymore. It's about him, and it makes it easier because I don't have to worry about how it affects me. I don't have to worry about what people think of me. But let them like rock with this. Like let them like really enjoy what this meaning really means. So yeah, starting off with this hoodie. It is a zip up hoodie. It's French terry and it's like 640 GSM. Y'all can grab it.
That's
it's
a husky.
hefty joint.
Yeah,
I can
hefty.
hold that if y'all wanna.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you said nice weight.
Yeah, it's literally just something that I thought would be fire. I like to wear boxy clothes and I like zip up hoodies. Something that I can rock anytime, and I just
Got the sleeve.
I've went from like wearing a lot of colorful stuff to wearing a lot of black and white. So
No, it's a very cozy hoodie. I remember helping you shoot some content with it, and I just like the way it lays, right? And going back to what you said about just portraying the message, and I like the fact that you're creating something that will resonate with a lot of people, whether they like walk the faith of God or not, right? It is very broad, right? Because this doesn't have like his name on it. This doesn't have like go be religious in a sense, you know, like very gimmickier kind of situation. This is like you and your path and like what it resonates with. So I like the fact that you're making it very personal, and you've always been a quality person. So
Oh, yeah,
like
I need-
this,
it needs to be quality.
yeah, this embodies you at its core. And the one thing I will say is that whether you do like walk that faith or not, this is something that any of you out there should support, because it's a positive message at the end of the day. And we need to spread that kind of positivity more in this world.
For sure.
So major congrats on this. When does this drop?
This Friday. Well, I don't know when this is coming out.
Okay, so this will have already probably been
be
out.
live by the time this
Yeah.
Yeah,
episode
and
is.
this is a pre-order.
It's pre-orders though.
And how long are you gonna have that pre-order live for?
Till we hit a certain thing, and then it's
Heard.
going.
Okay.
Going
Say
close
less.
down, you feel me?
Yeah,
So you gotta hope that it's still available by the time this airs.
Yeah, so make sure y'all check out asalu.co.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the website.
That's the website.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where they're gonna pre-order, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So
Dang,
hit
I
the
wonder-
site
I wonder if that name is available. Just
as a
solid.
website or
Just my
Oh,
Instagram,
I see what
that'd
you're
be
saying.
hard.
This is a good work of art.
Oh, Asalu.co or
Just Asalu.
that would
Like
be.
if I could-
Asalu.com.
No, just Asalu,
If I
that's
could
it.
just
Oh,
get
the
Asalu
IG
on
name.
Instagram.
Oh, okay, I
That
see
That would be
what you're
it.
But
Yeah, this is a great piece. Proud of you. And I like what it embodies, like I said before. I hope you continue to follow in these footsteps of just like promoting yourself through your faith, right? I remember we had a conversation recently where it's just like, it's tricky to navigate the space of social media right now with you and following your faith and understanding that there is a vast majority of people that don't walk the same path that you do, right? They don't resonate with what you're pushing out there anymore. So my question for you is, how do you navigate that? How have you been navigating that with this brand now, and like understanding that because it's social media, you are gonna take a hit for devoting yourself to your faith, which is very unfair to you as an individual. How's your mental with all of that?
I think at first, all right, so I literally went through like a rocky road, because before I really got into it, I tried to implement it. At one point, I remember like I did a Get Ready With Me, and I just talked about a verse one day, like 2 cribs ago, which is crazy.
2 cribs ago.
That's actually
The way
insane.
you reference
That's the timeline 2 cribs ago.
But
Yeah.
with that, I was like, just the whole fear of man, fear of people, fear of opinions and stuff like that. I was like, I can't do it again. I don't know if people are going to like it and stuff like that. Mind you, looking back, that video did really well. But then I just pushed it to the side. And when I finally started to get serious with it, it was like, I'm going to do it regardless. And it still showed that it was going to, it didn't do the best or whatever. But it was just the fact that I was doing it. I had to come to the understanding that it's kind of like starting over. Even though there's 100 something, whatever, I'm at 0 right now. Let's just do it. And it's funny because I went from like 138,000 followers to now like 115. And through that time, it was like a battle of, nope, this is what you signed up for. This is what you signed up for. You knew what was going to happen. But then it was like, I just lost it. It was like going through that in the head, and just keep persevering though. Like I remember what I got from God, and it was like there's a verse called Acts 1:8, and it just talks about Jesus is gonna give me power through the Holy Spirit. Like I'm gonna be strengthened to endure the things that are gonna happen, people's opinions and stuff like that, and He's gonna grant me the strength to do this, and I can be a witness to that in all that I do. And that's what's been driving me this whole time, that I'm going to use my story as a testimony, because I'm still here. I'm still alive, still breathing. You feel me? Despite all the stuff I've been through, despite all the stuff I will go through, I can still share that. So no matter if I lose everything or I gain everything, I can still do that. So that's that's the only resolve I have, I promise you. Because it's crazy to be like, oh, no, it's okay to lose 15,000 followers. It's okay to not make as much money.
You'd be wrong to say that you were unaffected by that.
Yeah,
You know, like
I would be
no
lying.
one in the world would like be unfazed by losing 15,000 followers on something that they took so long to create. Like,
Bro,
so,
oh my days. Not even just with that type of content, but you know how like hard, you know how much that hits to where like you just went off on a video.
yeah.
In your eyes, at least. You was cooking, you did all the little edits, you was super sound design, all that. For it to get, for that joint to get like 400 likes, I'm looking, I'm like, yo, I suck. And it's crazy how social media could give you that perception because of like just how they've like just skewed just people's perception of what it means to have value and stuff like that. Yeah. But just getting over those humps and just pushing through, just keep going. Yeah, that's the reality that's been through.
I feel like it happens with so many things. And I know me and Lou talked about this recently. I'm like, I truly don't like doing video. I'm a photographer.
Yep.
You feel me?
Y'all too, bro. Y'all too got it, bro.
But it's like, I did it because it was the cool thing to do.
You had to conform.
And like, yeah, I got better at it, but I enjoy taking pictures. And when I was posting pictures, it was like, oh, you're doing okay. But when I post a reel, viral, all these likes, brands hit me up for this and that and that, and I'm just like, but I'm not enjoying it. Yeah. I'm really not enjoying it. I know, right?
Nah, I feel that. That's what like this shirt I have on the back. It says like, "What do I profit from this world?" And obviously, it's talking about Jesus, but in a broader scope of things, it's like the whole "sell your soul" ideology is about giving up what you believe in for some type of pleasure. And it's like, how many times do we do that in content and creating and whatever? And I remember I had only one sellout moment in this whole content thing. I remember DraftKings hit me up for a video.
Selling
And listen, y'all, I'll be straightforward. It was 16 racks for one reel and syndicated to YouTube Shorts. And I was like, YouTube Shorts? Okay, go ahead. 16 racks. But they're talking about sports betting, something I don't believe in, nor do.
Yeah.
That was the definition of like selling my soul. Not selling my soul, but like giving up me.
You sold yourself short.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not who I am. And it's funny, recently, somebody commented on that short, and they were like, dude, do you not know how this is ruining people's lives? Why are you supporting this? And I looked at it, I was like, see, look at you. Because that's not what I represent. And like the fact that I could do that just for some bread, it's like, what do you stand for? Like, what do you really?
Bro. Nah, I feel that. I can relate to that same situation with TD Bank.
Yeah, I don't.
I was like, yo, dude don't even use this guy.
They had me promote a credit card that I wasn't even a part of, man.
It was
And-
worse because they made you put on the screen that you're not a card holder.
Yeah,
I'm like
it was just.
Well, I feel like in that case, are you really a sellout? Because
I mean, yeah, because like I'm promoting a service that I'm
That
not
you
even a
clearly
part
don't
of,
use.
that I don't
That's
use.
UGC though.
Yeah, no, I had to.
Yeah, the
I had
post
to
it was
post
big.
no, I'm
that.
saying, but like that's just if you.
Usually, yeah, I
if
see
you
what you're
do
saying.
use
Yeah,
that's good.
it felt like a sellout to me because like it wasn't me. At my core, I was doing this for the bag, and like you said, like when that number hits your brain, you're like, who in this world is making this money for a video?
Like,
for
come on,
one
bro.
video, bro. Like there's some things you just have to fold on. And the one thing that I constantly remind myself of is that like the 400 likes things that you like when you put your all into a video. Like I always think back to this one video where it's like, have you ever really understood what 400 people in one room actually looks like?
Yeah,
Like have
that's
you
true,
understood like what 100 likes, if you turn that into people in the same room supporting you, looks like, right? So that's when like my perspective started to change about like really just not caring about how my reach is, but understanding that I need to focus on the people that are here and the people that are supporting me, that actually like come through for the things that I'm like really trying to resonate with.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. If I get new people, cool, welcome to the party, and I appreciate you for sliding. But let me focus on the people that have been here since day one. Focus on the people that have been here for my whole journey.
right.
Because without them, I wouldn't be me at all. So that's the important thing that we have to take from this whole content creation game. Because once you focus about the numbers, you already know it's a losing game. We all know that. We've all been through it.
Yeah.
And like another thing that I always tell myself is that like, without failure, you wouldn't succeed. You need to fail.
that part.
that part for
We need to each have gone
He
through
is
everything.
spitting.
We need to each have gone through what we have to understand where we are now and like how we can change that script for the next generation.
Yeah, you better than me, bro. I get up. I'm like, Jerome feels like posting a picture today. Hope you like it. and that's it.
Yeah.
That's great.
It
Cool.
do be
It don't.
coming to that at
don't-
times though. It's like, listen, bro, this is what y'all gonna get.
Yeah.
Exactly.
'Cause I ain't getting up today.
Like, this is what you gonna get.
You're not getting 100% today. You're probably going to get some 98, but
Yo.
be that other 2%, please. So let's kind of wrap things up. It's been a very engaging conversation with you. Now,
Very
let's flip the
informative too,
script.
you know?
Let's flip the script a little bit. Do you have any questions for us? Let's keep it to like one each. No holds barred. Like you could just fire off.
Okay. Dang. Well, this gets edited, right? So I can. Nah, I just gotta ask.
You can
questions,
take your
feel me?
time. Yeah. Cue the Jeopardy music.
Well, do you mind me talking about if
whatever.
DTLR
Yeah.
stuff like that? Okay, so for Rome, when you left DTLR, what was the hardest part about that situation? So essentially, DTLR is his full-time job. Y'all probably know that.
Yeah,
but-
that was my 9 to 5 for 5 years, roughly. And, that kept the bills paid, the family taken care of, and then one day, gone. But I know, like Praise is talking about, I could have stayed. And I would have had to make sacrifices for that. And it was just a struggle of what's more important. Do I go get this promotion that I've been waiting for? But the price I had to pay is moving my entire family to a new city. I'm like, Lily just started a new school, making new friends. And I'm like, well, she just started here from her old school because we just bought a house. So I'm like, I just bought a house. Wife is epileptic, so making sure, I can be able to take care of her and stuff like that. And it was just so many moving parts. And I'm just like, the monetary is not important because I know I can get this my way. So I had to buckle down. I'm just like, what's it going to be? And me and wifey went back and forth talking about it. And she ultimately came down to well, whatever you decide, that's what we'll do as a family. And I'm just like, as a person that was raised by my father and around my uncles and older cousins and stuff, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, why am I even taking so long? It's a no-brainer. My family comes first, and that's most important. Anything else that's meant to be, it will come when it's supposed to. And having that mindset had me tell them, like, hey, I won't be moving to Baltimore with you guys. I'm gonna be staying here and I'm gonna do my own thing. On some Miles Morales. I'm gonna do my own thing. You feel me? But it ended up being the best decision that I could have made. And you know how people be like, yo, it's funny, like his God works in mysterious ways. Literally, once everything happened, and Will knows because he was there with me. The moment I made my decision and said I'm not going, $15,000 eBay job comes in. $7,000 Xfinity job comes in, and all these other jobs. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm good for like the next 6-7 months as far as like my monetary bills and stuff. And I'm like, and I'm still getting a cash out settlement from the job and all that stuff like that. So I'm like, yo, I'm good.
That's pleasant. Yeah.
And then just actually doing it, because he's always told me like, bro, you need to just go do it, bro. Just go do it. Just go do it. But it was that push of being in a situation where I was now forced to make a choice.
Yep.
And I know I made the right choice now. And I look back at it and I'm like, yo, if that situation never happened, I'd probably still be there in a great situation, of course, but I'd still be there not doing what I wanted to do. And now I'm about to be 40. My kids are happy. I get to spend more time with them and watch them grow instead of being at work all the time.
That's true.
And I make my own schedule. And I've already made more money doing this and still having more free time than I was at the 9 to 5 under somebody else's, rules and regulations. So
Yeah.
it's been a blessing, bro. It's been a blessing.
That's fine. Now you.
Now you.
Where would you say like you get your like fulfillment from? Like what does that look like?
Damn. That right there. Honestly, like growing up, I got to witness a lot of my family's struggles and mistakes, and how they were never really supportive of each other or like doing the right things to like uplift each other in a specific way. Not just my family, but friends of the family, and like just all the trials and tribulations that I went through as a kid. Moved a lot, coming here, and just like kind of rewriting my life for the better. Shout out to moms for moving me here, because if I was still in New York, I don't know what I would be doing right now. But I was always a very selfless person, and I feel like I really do become the best version of myself when I can fulfill someone else and their goals and like their values, and helping them achieve like a deeper version of themselves. Like my last couple of relationships really woke me up to who I am as an individual and how much I devoted to other people in the wrong ways, and how I needed to like fully put myself first so that I can be 100% to other people. Because when I was devoting too much time to other people and putting them as a priority, I was sacrificing myself. And I was able to flip that script so that I can be fulfilled by filling other people's cups up. So like I put the work in to focus on myself and really like understand who I am as an individual, understand what works, what doesn't work, boundaries within myself, and really just locking in, just understanding that like without me being the best version of myself, I can't be the best version of myself, because what fulfills me is seeing all my friends win, seeing all my friends learn to just become better versions of themselves. I try really hard to understand how to perceive more than articulate. Because like perception, I think, is like the overarching thing to understand. many people just react. Many people just speak without actually understanding. And I think that is what really gave me like the values and the motive to understand myself, because I started actually like listening to myself instead of just acting on like certain things. So yeah, just filling other people's cups up and just seeing my homies win. It's really what brings it home for me, yo.
What's up?
Thank you, bro.
That's dirty. It got deep, y'all. It got deep real quick.
That's some good questions. You feel
Yeah,
me?
you out here pulling out the questions. You know what's crazy about what you just said? It's not to a fault, but it's funny because you get so invested sometimes. You start getting pissed off.
I do.
With
I
people.
do. I do,
You're
yo.
like, bro,
I do.
relax.
It's hard.
Calm down, Jamal. It's like, calm down, bro. We know you mean well. Like, we didn't do it yet. You gotta chill out, bro.
I be so animated. Y'all know
Yeah, we
how
know.
animated I
We
am
all-
and
we
how
all know. We all
how
know.
passion driven I am, especially with the people that I care about. Like you telling me you gonna prioritize this over this when this makes more sense? The hell you doing, bro? Yeah, I'ma always be aggressive and like hungry and passionate about like getting my homies from point A to point B as fast as humanly possible. But I do understand that sometimes I need to take a step back. Like it's the human in me, you know.
bro.
And I'ma always yell at you.
We live, we learn, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
It-
Exactly.
It always boils down to the place that it's coming from. And it's always received from a place of care. And that's all you could ask for. Because unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the type of relationships and friendships that we all have.
Bro, I always thank the universe for blessing me with the community and the friends that I've been able to build. Like in every part of my lifetime so far, like, okay, like high school, college, after college, you know, like work friends, all that stuff. Like I've witnessed the growth, and I've witnessed like with the event that I just had, right? There were people from all walks of my life there. It was crazy. Like somebody from high school came through, college friends came through, and then college and high school friends started to mingle, and then they all started to mingle with like Chris and Jordan. And my mom, she's seen people from college, and she was like, holy shit. Like, so just seeing that like full circle, like moment of understanding with friendship, I was just like, damn, I've really been blessed. Like really been blessed to just uplift the community and create these friendships and these connections. So I think that's why I'm like always so passionate. Like I have a really strong group of people in my life, and like I just really want to see us all do good. I want, like, because there's so much hate and evil and negativity in this world that we see doom scrolling every single day. So like I'm always just making sure that if I could pour into anybody's cup, like even like the smallest piece of advice, the checking on somebody, the like, yo, you need a slice of pizza? Like you want to come through, go to OG real quick? Like small things. Don't make that face. Don't make that face. But yeah, I'm gonna always make sure that I can at least like fill somebody's cup up every day, you know?
All right, so before we go, just had a question for you, right? What advice would you give young creators such as yourself that's moving forward in this world of content creation?
Evaluate your why. I guess should it be that camera?
It don't matter.
Evaluate your why. Like, is your why something that's sustainable? Is it something that will actually hold strong in the worst of times? Because, like I said, my why was whack in the beginning. And from there, that's what you are able to turn into content. Figure out how to make that into a video and then be consistent. That's probably, like, everyone can give you a guide or plan or whatever. It's literally, what's your purpose? Like, what do you feel like, this is why I'm doing this? Make cool videos out of it. You don't have to be cool. Just make videos about it and be consistent with it. And everything should work out. I ain't gonna lie. Consistency be the main thing in this world anyway, so, yeah.
Preaching.
I like that.
Well, Praise, thank you very much for taking time out to chat with us on the pod.
Of course.
Definitely.
Got the OGs, you feel me? These are real OGs, no cap, bro. No cap.
So I'm Lewis, Jerome, As always, shout out to you. Praise again. Oh, I'm
Appreciate you,
sorry.
bro.
This is Encanto Kicks and Coffee. This space we are very much appreciative of. Yes, okay, we're gonna just stop now. You guys have a good night. Thank y'all, and we'll catch y'all
What
on
if
the
it's
next
morning?
one.
Peace.
What?
You say what this morning?
Good night, good morning, good afternoon. We'll catch y'all next time.
Hello, San Diego.